Hi and welcome to another gaming video, and in today's video I want to talk about game codes in game cases. And first off, I've got a bit of a sore throat this morning, so do apologise if I sound a little rough, but today's video is about game cases with no actual gaming. So I do like to buy physical games. I'm not a dinosaur. I have bought a lot of games on the Switch eStore, but I do prefer to have my games on physical disc or physical cartridge. And a relatively new thing I've noticed is that you buy, well, if you're in a shop somewhere and you see a physical game, but it hasn't actually got a disc or a cartridge inside, it is just a download code. And this seems to happen quite a lot with Switch games, and I fell into this trap recently. So I wanted to buy Nerf Legends. It looks a great, fun, first-person shooter for the Switch, and it's still very pricey on the Switch eShop. So I saw this in store and it was £10, and I grabbed it. And it wasn't until I got home that I realised that there wasn't actually a disc in it. And it was then that I noticed that the case says download code only, no game card included. And I've seen this before on other things. I think I was looking at buying some sort of Rayman game and noticed that on there, but I didn't actually look when I was buying this. And this annoyed me. Well, it annoyed me for a number of reasons. So one, it annoyed me because I should have looked. I'd obviously just was blindsided by the fact that this was only £10, and I think it's about 23 on the eShop. So I saw this on the shelf. It said £10 on it, brand new, and I just sort of grabbed it and didn't really look at it. But the other reason that it's annoyed me is because I then can't share this with other Switch users in my house. Physical cartridge, you can put it in as many Switch consoles as you like, and you can share it around. You've also got you can sell games on. That's one of the bonuses of physical game cartridges or physical discs, and it's something that it's not going to be around for much longer. Game sales of physical discs has really fizzled out down to about, I think, 10% of games are now bought on physically. So you go in a shop, you buy a game, it's got a disc or a cartridge in. 90% of game sales for last year were digital, which means they're tied to an account, which means you don't have something physical in your hand and you can't resell them on. So the only way around it that I could see was I installed this on my own personal Switch Lite, went to the eShop, redeemed the code that was inside this piece of paper. Then my son has a Switch as well, my account is on there, so he could play Nerf Legends on his Switch using this digital copy by using my account. But the bigger picture here is why? Why produce a game case with nothing in it? I mean, it must cost more to put out a game case, produce the artwork, print this little bit of paper, than it does to just shove it on a store. And yet this was cheaper than it was on store. And I know store prices can go up and down, but I've not seen this for £10 on the store. So you're essentially getting the same thing. You get this piece of paper with a code on it, and you put that in, and it just downloads it from the Nintendo eShop. The only thing I do quite like, it's kind of a halfway mark. You're buying this game. It doesn't have a physical cartridge, even though there is a spot for it in the case. But you do have something to hold. You do have something to put on your shelf with the rest of your games. And it looks as if you've got a physical game. And I kind of like it. It's a halfway mark, like I said. It's not all digital. It's digital with a case. And it seems a little bit pointless, but it also does give you something to put on shelf, so you can have all these games with a spine, and it looks great. Maybe I'm just a little bit old and I like to have shelves full of different games for different systems. I have to say I've got 30 games for my Switch, but only 3 physical, or 3 on a shelf, and one of those is this, which isn't physical. So yeah, it just miffed me a little bit. Or maybe I should have just looked at that a bit more. It does say it clearly, well, clearly-ish. So when you're out buying Switch games and you're in a shop and you're seeing these on a shelf, just make sure, just look at the bottom corner. Like I said, this is Nerf Legends. That is digital download only. I've seen Rayman in the same, and there's quite a few games that do this half empty case kind of piece of paper download job. But there you go. I got done over a little bit. This is the only thing that was in my case, but at least I got a case. Link, like, subscribe, enjoy.